Hello and welcome to Marwell Manor. Welcome to a very cold and snowy Marwell Manor. So we have had snow overnight. You can see we've got a thin layer on the floor. Does not going to change what we're going to do today. So we're heading over here. We're going to be using both tractors actually today. But the first thing we're going to be doing is jumping into our Arian here. And going and finding our bucket, which I think is over by the sheep. And the reason for that is because today we are going to be getting to work on the silage. So the plan for the next two videos are basically to get this silage done and sold. We've got very little on the farm we can do beyond this. Yeah, getting this chaff compacted. And redone so that it turns into silage. Let's dump the snow in the bucket where the bucket was. There we go. But first, I'm going to give the sheep a quick clear out. Get them going. We'll also get their water going. But yeah, we might as well sort the sheep out first while we're here, while we've got the bucket on the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and rearrange the silage, get the silage moved about a bit, and then we're going to go and get something to compact it from the shop. So we've got 3,500. We're looking at making money in the next couple of days. So I don't mind going into the red to get ourselves out of winter. Oop, missed the gate. And so yeah, that's what the plan is at the moment. We're going to get ourselves out of winter with basically 2 episodes based around getting this silage done and sold. And it's going to be we may need a larger bucket to do some of this stuff with this silage. Because at the moment we've got a 2,000 litre bucket. We've got 600,000 litres of silage. So it may be that also to do it we hire some bits, maybe some conveyors or something to help empty this, because yeah, this is huge. We don't need to sell all of this, of course, and we are going to have to borrow money to get the BGA as well. But this is the beauty of us only being £30,000 in debt. We are now in a position where we can borrow pretty much whatever we want to get our farm sorted and finished. Now, how compacted are we? We are 30% compacted. There's a good possibility, actually, we can get this whole thing compacted just by using this. And if that works, great. We won't need to use the silage roller. But it is a case I want to flatten this out a bit, see how far we get with that. And I'm trying to make it a little bit more accessible to us at the moment by digging this out. Because we want to get some of this more up to the back as well. Because we didn't go right to the back. And selling this is hopefully going to give us a good grounding for the next year. It's certainly we're going to make the 30,000 we need to get ourselves out of debt. And maybe the little bit more. We do have a bit of an issue, though, I can see, where we've got a bit of snow in our silage clamp, so we're not going to be able to do everything. And it is sort of running over this a bit. I'm not sure this is a job that you could do during the winter time, unless maybe if you had a covered silage clamp, you might be able to do this. But yeah, certainly at the moment, this is a job where I think you'd be hard pressed to do this in the winter on an open silage clamp like this. But this is what we need to do in order to get ourselves sorted. And it may be that we spend our time doing this today. We'll see how well we go. I mean, we're a third of the way there already, just by doing this way. But it's yeah, I just want to kind of level this out a bit. Oh. Yeah, we've got to pick our paths carefully. Try and drive over the humps and not get stuck on them. So there are definite ruts that we're creating in this, in places, and holes as well, which is something we need to be careful of. Yeah, like this one. Now what we should be able to do is, if we ever get stuck like that, just push this, I'm hoping, and oh no, that's not gonna, so we'll try turning the other way. There we go. Yeah, there are many ways to get out of the hole on the top of a silage clamp, but we have, I'm not sure that actually lowered that at all. So yeah, it's just trying to sort of spread it a bit, ride over what we've got in the middle, get the edges down a little bit from the sides, because we have gone right up to the top in places, or right up to the sides in places. And the tractor is handling this fairly well, but then mind you, this is not, this may be our smaller tractor on the farm, but it's not a small tractor. I mean, this still has about 200 horsepower, I think, this class. So it should be good at doing this job. Right, I want to try and take that peak off as well. Yeah, there we go. And then we can go down that dip. And you can see we're leveling it out on the top. And just sort of dumping down the back here. Now, as I said, we've got a little bit of snow in our silage clamp. That should disappear eventually. I do like how we wouldn't be able to actually tip anything in here after the snowfall if we didn't have stuff in here already. The snow has definitely intruded in on it. So a silage clamp can take snow as well as chaff. You just cannot compact. Well, you can compact snow, actually, thinking about it. Snow does compact in seasons, just not into silage, obviously. Right, let's see if we can take this hump off here. Yeah, there we go. Just sort of level that out a bit. We're already up to 37%. If we can get, as I said, if we can get this leveled out, if we can get this to a good state, what we'll be able to do is go and get ourselves a silage roller and just roll it out. I mean, we could do this whole thing like this, but I think that would make for not the most interesting of episodes. I want to put a little bit of variation in and try and use some general equipment, some actual silage equipment as well. Would be quite good for us. And yeah, I don't know whether well, yeah, I think silage, because we're selling at the BGA, we're not going to be selling silage bales, which do have a yearly amount. I don't think silage at the BGA fluctuates in price at all. And as I said, we're also not going to be selling all of this. I do want to keep it for the cows. I do want to keep some for the cows, but we need to sell enough that we can get cows in the first place. And we need to, you know, how much we get for half of this will determine how much we get for the cows. There we go. Get that off the edge. And plunk it down the back here. And again, try and fill in that hole at the back. Try and level this whole thing out. And we're already up to 40%, which is great news. I don't think we're going to be able to level this big hump out completely. The amount of work you need to do that is quite considerable. But what we have got here is the ability to sort of try and get as many of these side bits and pieces as possible. This tractor has quite a bit of oomph, to be honest. There's more oomph on this than I thought it would have. There we go. We might even be able to do the silage roller on this, although, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But certainly 41% so far. There we go. So yeah, we are, as I said, we've got 30,000. We are at 3,500. So we're going to have to borrow 500 to get the silage roller. That's not a problem though. That is, as I said, that is a minor purchase to get this completed and to get this job done quicker. What I'm going to do is we're going to complete leveling this out. We'll get it to, as I said earlier, we'll get it to 50%. We will then go and hop into the other tractor. We'll grab the silage roller in that. Oh, I was trying to avoid doing that. It's getting stuck down this far end. That is going to be a big problem for us, I think. It will help compact this end, but, you know, we are kind of stuck down here because it's fairly steep to get out. There we go. Still, that did compact that stuff down the end a bit more. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of move the silage down the other end a bit. We put a lot of silage in here. That shows just exactly how much grass we got off field 19. We could fill this in twice a year. But after consulting you guys, I think field 19 is too good an opportunity for us not to put crops into next year. So we're going to look at that. We're going to, I think we're going to look at getting field 19 ploughed come the new year, or come start of year 2. And having done that, we'll be looking at sort of planting it, getting it into the rotation. And then I think at the end of the year, we're going to look at reseeding a field 15 with grass. So we're going to switch field 15 round to grass and field 19 round to being an arable field. That's simply because while field 15 is nice and square, actually makes fairly good arable field because of that. It is smaller. It will produce the amount of hay and the amount of silage we'll need over a year, especially if we can get 3 cuts out of it. And we won't be looking to do silage bales. We'll be looking to do silage in here. And looking to try and maybe store any silage out of here. We're looking to make enough silage for the year, basically, is what we're after. So to that end, we may try and get a cow food mixer or something like that on the farm. Because if we can mix enough food for the cows for a year, then we can go with that. And that will be good. We're also only going to borrow really to invest going forward. So if we know we can make the money back from whatever we're borrowing the money for, then yeah, we will then invest. We will then borrow to invest. So a field is a good reason for us to borrow money, whereas to buy a new tractor is not. We kind of need to have made the money back to do that. Right, we are at 49%. Let's get this, just roll over it a couple more times, and then we'll go and see if we can get the other half of this done with a silage roller. Because, yeah, we used that on the realism experiment the other night, and it worked really, really well. Right, so we are going to switch tractors and go and get ourselves a silage roller, I think. So let's back it up, and we can hide that now and head back around here. So I'm tempted to try and clear the snow up, but it's not a high priority. In my experience, unless you're really looking for work, snow clearance isn't that important with seasons. You can do it. Right, there we go. We'll turn those lights off, jump into this, and head over to the shop. Yeah, it's only really important from what I've seen. If you're looking to sort of have a little bit of busy work around winter. I mean, you do slide all over the place on it, and there is a quicker way to do it. There is a salt spreader you can get, but I've not found a huge use for it really. Not found a massive case to clear it most of the time. And salt on fields is not a good idea. But Marwell is such a pretty map in the snow, though. Really, really gorgeous. I love looking at this. Look at that. That is just the most gorgeous set of scenery. I'm looking. One of the things I'm actually looking forward to, and the river's all frozen. One of the things I'm actually looking forward to is the possibility of us expanding the farm, maybe buying field 16 or 17. I think it will take a year. It'll take a year before our cows start producing any milk for a start. But it is going to take a while before we can do that. Right. So as I said, we need to borrow 5,000. So we're going to take our loan up to a grand total of 35,000. But that is because we want to head into the shop here, head over to levelers, and we want this, the Hilarious 485. This is a cracking piece of kit. Absolutely brilliant. So actually, I'm going to return that money. We don't need to do that. We can, let's repay 5,000. We can hire it. We're only going to use it today. We've no use for it beyond today. So let's lease it. Save ourselves a whole whack of money because it's only £382 to do that. Admittedly, if we used it for today and then returned it, we probably would lose less money than that. But slightly more realistic to lease it for this time. And yeah, this will work absolutely brilliant for us. Now, the one thing we do have, we are in the middle of winter, and as you can probably see, it's midday and we're already beginning to lose the light. Wait, we've got quite a weight on the back here now, and it's going. But yeah, midwinter, you do not get much light. So I am going to slow the time down at this point, because otherwise we're probably going to run out of it. I don't know, actually. I'm gonna see where we are. It is only 12:30, but you can see that even with a clear sky like this, you do not get a huge amount of light in seasons. Middle of winter. Oof. Even though this is, and actually this fits into my theory. My theory with seasons is actually, this isn't January. Day 4 of winter, you would expect to be January. It isn't. I think day 4 of winter is actually December. And seasons is a little bit skewed. So winter in seasons is actually November, December, January. Spring is February, April, March. February, March, April, sorry. February, April, March. And round like that, which would fit in better with when you're actually able to harvest and plant and everything in seasons. Would fit in much better with all of that. Right, let's have a look. F1. Yeah, we're already 51% compacted, and we only drove over a very small pit. Yeah, that is doing a cracking job, this roller. I'm just shifting everything about, and that's the great thing about it. It does just shift everything about, moves it all roughly where you want it. We're going to have a little bit of a problem with this back area, but it should start moving that about as well. Yeah, 55% already. So a cracking bit of kit. This adds a lot of weight, adds a lot of compaction to your pile, and if you can get it, if we can get it onto that back bit, it will make the world of difference. Now we should be able to get a. We should be able to get a bit up here, and we might actually. I might split this this silage stuff up, actually, with a video where we're moving our straw bales and our hay bales, because we do need to do that as well. That is a job that is sitting there waiting for us, that needs doing before we can move on, before we're able to start the next year, because we need to free up that big barn. We will have uses for that. Oh, come on, up we go. Because we're gonna have to go on a seed purchase as well. So we've got to go and purchase all our seeds and everything. Come at the beginning. There we go. Up and round. 62% already. I'm working well. I'm pleased with this first year on Marwell. This has worked out really, really well for us the first year on here. Our plan has seemed to work fairly well. Having the sheep has been good. It will be interesting to see the difference that the sheep have this year. It's unfortunate that we've just had a great demand up at the spinnery for wool. That would have been perfect for us. But we had to sell the wool when it appeared at its highest price for us, and yeah, so we did. I don't think we got. Did we get as high as 1,300 a couple episodes ago? If you guys can remember, let us know in the comments. But yeah, that was unfortunate. 67%, so it started to slow down a bit. And I think it's mainly this bit at the back here that's causing this slowdown. We need to sort of try and compact that. We are doing pretty well with this. I mean, it is compacting things pretty quickly. I think we need to turn around and go the other way for a bit though. Yeah, that's up to 70 because we haven't really, the top of this peak here hasn't had a lot of compaction on it. We've sort of missed it as we've come over the crest, and you can see it by its movement. You can see how much this bit here is still moving. Shows exactly how much compaction there still is to do on this bit. And it does, doing this way is rolling the top, but you can see it lifts out, so it's still fairly steep. The tractor is doing some compaction coming over that lip, but there's still a fair amount. And when we come up, again, you can see it lifts out and mists out that middle bit. But we have been compacting that middle bit, so it's all good. And then we can just turn around and go back the other way again. So yeah, winter work. And this is the thing with seasons. This is why on Charwell we have planted a whole load of poplars, because poplars are what we're going to be able to harvest over the winter there. On here, it's this. It's getting the chaff done and getting the chaff rolled and compacted. We are into the last 23%. Try and get this at an angle up here, just to roll, and you can see it's gone fairly flat on the top, even though we do have some areas at the side. Last 20% though now, and yeah, this very much is going to be rolling the chaff. Can we get this done today before we lose the light? It is the only job we have to do on the farm. Well, I say the only job. We do have to restack those, but we want to get restack those bales. But we do want to get this done, because if we can get this done, then we are, as I said, going to be in a really good place. There we go. 83%, 17% left on our compaction. And yeah, this is what I think is probably the best method. Spread it out a little bit first, get something like a roller on it, and have a go at it then. Seems to work pretty well, to be honest. Actually, rolls off the top there quite nicely too. Can we get down the back here and just drop onto that? See if we can just lever that out a little bit. 12% to go. And this Arian is right at home doing this job. We could have possibly put some wheel weights on this, actually. I think we've got wheel weights available and just put a whole load of extra weight on it. We're up to 90% now, and it's probably not worth it at this point. Yeah. That is coming together very, very nicely. All 627,000 litres of chaff in here. So you'd only need to do one field of corn. Yeah, you could do one field of corn and a couple of things of grass off 19, and you'd probably fill this, I think. And I'm intrigued to see how much a lot of this is worth. There we go. Borrow the money for the BGA and just fill the BGA from field 19. Now that's an idea. Field 1 actually might be a good opportunity for us coming new year. It's right near our farm. It is one of the fields that has contracts on it, but we're not hitting the contracts very hard on this map. So field 1 would be a good addition to our farm, as would field 17. So yeah, and possibly field 16 too. So there's a few options. 98%, we are almost there. It is 5 past 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, 99% compacted. One last little bit. One last final run over it. There we go. We are 100% compacted, which is absolutely fantastic news. Very, very pleased about that. So yeah, let's get this picked up, folded up, and we can actually return it now. So we'll take it out of here, drop it off. Our combine trailer has moved again. There is a definite issue with the DLC and that combine trailer. Definitely has problems. I'm waiting eagerly for the update to the Platinum Edition because there are a few issues with it. There's the issue with the telehandler. There's the issue with stuff moving about. It does need work. Right, so let's return this. So if we look in our garage, unleased items, we only have that. We can return that. That has cost us £300 to use that, which is great. So that is all done. We will head back over here, and we should be able to cover our chaff. There we go. It is all done. That is a job well done. We have made it through this day. So yeah, we are going to be coming next time. I think next episode, what we'll be doing is we will be opening this up. We're going to skip to day 6 of winter because there's, as I said, there's not much to do. And yeah, once we hit day 6 of winter, we will be getting this sold. So I will see you. Well, all that remains in that case is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.